In today's fight news, we start off with some new fight announcements. Per Dana White, Ian Machado Gary will be taking on Michael Venom Page at the upcoming UFC 303 event, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. And in the bantamweight division, Marlon Chito Vera will be taking on former flyweight champion Davison Figueiredo on August 3rd in Abu Dhabi. UFC 303 McGregor vs. Chandler will have its first press conference in Dublin, Ireland on the 3rd of June. It looks like Dylan Dennis is trying to jump on the UFC 303 card, calling for a matchup with Nick Diaz. The recent back and forth between former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling and Movsar Evloev continued, as Evloev said it was not a good idea for him to come to his division, after which the former champion Sterling said, "Don't worry, sign the contract when it comes in so I can get my title shot." Ahead of the main event for the upcoming UFC 302, Dustin Poirier vs. Islam Makhachev, Conor McGregor, former Poirier foe, says he thinks Dustin Poirier will get it done this time, being his third crack at the title. McGregor was quoted in saying, "If Dustin's ever going to do it, it'll be this time." Number 2 ranked welterweight Belal Muhammad says, "One day training with Khabib is worth 100 days training with anyone else." He says that Khabib is the Michael Jordan of MMA, and he says Islam Makhachev would be the LeBron James of the sport. Muhammad was recently on an episode of Money, Loyalty, Legacy, where he spoke about the beef between him and former middleweight champion Sean Strickland. He said that Strickland can dish it out, but he can't take it when it comes back to him, saying that the former champ has a fake tough guy mentality. Belal also called out the welterweight champion Leon Edwards ahead of their upcoming UFC 304 Manchester event. He says the champion is quote-unquote weak and he is easily broken, and it showed in his second matchup with Kamaru Usman. The UFC heavyweight champion John Jones was recently seen on his X account going back and forth with some of his haters. In one exchange, a fan wrote, "Just fight Stipe and then Tom Aspinall, and nobody will have any complaints." In which he responded, "Hey, Tom Brady, you still look healthy. Give us 2 more Super Bowls and I'll personally be more impressed by your career." While speaking to the Mac Life, the interim heavyweight champion, Tom Aspinall, said his upcoming opponent for UFC 304, Curtis Blades, is a lose-lose situation for him because he's not that popular and he's the toughest matchup in the division. Ahead of his flyweight bout with Muhammad Mokaev, Manel Kape says that he's not worried about Mokaev's wrestling and says that he's quote-unquote the Khabib of the flyweight division. Kape said he's not worried about the wrestling, and he said even the champion Pantoja couldn't take him down. On to some boxing news, as Hall of Fame promoter Bob Arum tells Talk Sport that former champion Tyson Fury has officially activated his rematch clause and will be taking on Alexander Usyk again. The unified heavyweight title rematch will take place either at the end of this year or early next year in Riyadh. Arum also states that regardless of the outcome of the rematch between Fury and Usyk, Tyson Fury will quote-unquote definitely fight Anthony Joshua in 2025. This highly anticipated matchup has been building for quite a long time, and Arum says that it would take place in the UK and be a massive event at Wembley Stadium. It was recently announced that lineal heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk was going to be stripped by the IBF of his title for not facing mandatory challenger Filip Hrgović. However, the unified champion Usyk has officially requested an exception so that he can hold on to his IBF strap for the rematch between him and Tyson Fury. According to Mike Coppinger, Sebastian Fundora will be taking on Errol Spence for the WBC Super Welterweight World title, this October. The AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas is looking like the frontrunner to hold the event. Shortly after this announcement, former welterweight kingpin Errol Spence posted on his X account hinting that this may be his last fight. The IBF has officially ordered Anthony Cacace to defend his IBF super featherweight title against Eduardo Nunez. The fighters have 30 days to come to an agreement, and then there will be a purse bid. The final face-off has gone down between Paige Vanzant and Elle Brooke ahead of this weekend's X Series 15 Misfits boxing match. The official weights are in for the rematch between Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the content, like and subscribe.